mas são lágrimas nos olhos. E eu sei, não está correto.
If you read my lips, it is said to you, what goes around must come around. If you read my lips, it is said to you, what goes around must come around.
Hi, this is the Dr. Dawn, and we are at the Brightlight Project's annual fundraiser, continuing the mission to raise money for girls globally. Stay tuned. Okay, we are here tonight with one of our speakers, dynamic speaker. She's a powerhouse, Dr. Ruth A. Marti. How are you?
I am blessed, and you?
Oh, good, good, good. Tell us what Bright Lights means to you.
I think that with everything that they do, both domestic and international, in a proverb we say it takes a village to raise a child, and that's the concept that I see that they do have, that it takes a village, which is me and you, to actually make the project in Brightlight happen. And so if you are part of the village, we really would like you to be aboard with everything that we do here. But it means really great momentums to us. I think that with it being in here, in Houston and also international, it touches a whole lot of souls.
I believe it. It does. It does. Global work. Thank you, Dr. Marti. All right. Love that. So sweet. Vicia. We are here with Vicia Jenkins Quarting, our keynote speaker tonight. Vicia, what are you going to be talking about tonight?
I'm going to be talking about after the period.
Yeah. Because that's why we're here.
Exactly. Talking about that transition from girlhood to womanhood and the barriers that sometimes get in the way of 49.6 of the world's population not living the excellent life.
Yeah. But let me tell you something. Bright Lights Projects is closing the gap globally. Oh, I love this organization. Love it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Eyes closed, make we say a prayer. Yes, I give thanks to the man we are following. Give thanks to the man we are easy pain. Give thanks to the man we got up on the cross of the world wide world just to cleanse our sins.
Ohun tó bá wẹ̀ lẹ́nu ni ó fẹ́nu rẹ̀ sọ. Ayé ò nà bí ọ̀pá ìbọn. Rárá o, rárá o, rárá o. Rárá o, rárá o, rárá o. Ayé ò nà bí ọ̀pá ìbọn sẹ́. Ohun tó bá wẹ̀ lẹ́nu ni ó fẹ́nu rẹ̀ sọ.
Hello everybody, I'm PJ Skipper Jerry Cleo. We are here at the Brightlight Gala. Listen, Brightlight has come a long way. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so proud of where it has come from and where it is now. Brightlight started like the lyrics of a song. For those of you who do not know, it started as the lyrics of a song in my album, and today it has come to a place where so many people believe in it, and they are here tonight to show their support. So you can support from wherever you are in the world. We will definitely appreciate it. It goes a long way to help children in Africa. It goes a long way to set up talent and bring it to another level. It goes a long way to communicate with the world. You know, any dollar helps, as I always say. Come help us. Come be part of this great initiative. And we can't wait to have you with us. Have a good one. Thank you.
We are here with John, one of the amazing supporters of Bright Lights. Tell people why they should support Bright Lights projects.
Well, for the same reason that I do. When I learned about this project and I saw the practical difference that it made in the lives of vulnerable, exploited children, it touched me. And I realized that this is something that we need to give our utmost support to, because the difference that it makes in the lives of these kids is just incredible. Africa is a continent where the governments are not quite there for the young ones. And when you have an organization like this that is very concerned about the welfare of kids who do not have any hopes for the future, then that is something that is really worth supporting. And that's why I urge everyone, who is interested in helping kids, vulnerable kids, to do something about, helping. And Brightlight Project is one that you are certain that whatever you give will go towards making a difference in the lives of those kids.
No amount is too small.
No, not at all.
I get high
Thank you. My name is Edwin Tita from Cameroon.
Okay. Edwin, how have you seen, because you've been a part of the organization or supporting since the inception, since the very beginning, how have you seen them make an impact?
Well, I must say that I've seen Brightlight grow from strength to strength, given over the years from inception what it's been able to do. I first remember the biggest impact it had on me was when there was a project in, I think it was Sierra Leone, when Ebola started, and the impact it had on those kids, kids who had lost their parents, and what Brightlight was actually what Brightlight did to impact their lives, and some of these girls were able to go back to school to better themselves. So I really want to stress how important this Brightlights project is, of such immense benefit to our African youths who sometimes are in despair, and they need this to help them, improve on themselves. Yeah.
I like that. I think you summed it up. You're the spokesperson. I like it. Looking sharp.
Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Eunice Bongan. My husband is at the forefront of this organization. He has been working extremely hard for the past years to make sure that kids in Africa get help, especially in Cameroon, Nigeria, Sierra Leone. I've seen my husband go through thick and thin just to make the kids back home have food to eat, have activities that they can do to make their lives better. And since this organization started, a lot of them have grown from grass to grace, and they are extremely happy for the blessings that Brightlight Project has blessed them with. And so I think we use this moment to put it onto the public that these kids back home in Africa, they do need help. They need a lot of support. Nothing is too small for these kids. So we plead on the public, dig deep into your pockets and see what we can do for the kids back home that need our help. It is such a blessing to help these kids that go through such difficulties. We have homeless kids, kids that have lost their parents due to war, famine, and all sorts of turmoil back home in Africa. And so dig deep into your pockets and just search your hearts and come through for these kids. Thank you once more for coming through. My name is Eunice Bongan again. Thank you.
Okay, we are here with the beautiful in blue, Valeria, here at the Brightlight Project's fundraiser. Talk about how you know Franco and the work you've seen him do, selfless work for this organization.
Thank you very much. Franco is a friend, consider him family, and he is very selfless. He has helped a lot of underprivileged people, not only in Cameroon, where he's from, but in Nigeria and Rwanda, other countries in Africa. And his focus is really on the girl child. He has helped a lot of them to get to be self-reliant. So, and it's very commendable.
I love that. Looking beautiful. Thank you. Oh, okay, picture.
Honor for me to actually be doing this. I've never had the chance to do this, to actually stand on one of these and have to talk. But thank you so much to all those who are here. We do value your time. We appreciate you for coming out here tonight. What I when I look at Brightlight's projects, it's an honor for me to even be part of this today. For the past years, I have been out in here and there, but tonight I decided to come show support to a man that has changed my life in this country. When I got here, actually, before I got here, my songs were playing all over the States because of Franco. I did a song in 2007 that went viral, and I give that to Franco because he was the one who called me right back from Africa and said, hey, send that song, let me see what I can do about it. If I start talking about Franco, I don't think I'll end today. But the word that I want everybody to carry tonight is selfless. Oh, yes. Selfless is a word that I describe Franco by every day, because he would go above and beyond. And that same album that Franco asked me to send to him, where he could promote one of the songs, there was a titled song, Brightlight. It was track number 7. That is how this name came about, Brightlight's project. Brightlight has gone from Houston to New York, East Coast, West Coast, gone south, gone to Africa. Part of Europe knows about Brightlight, of course. And we, by the end of this whole project, should be able to reach the ends of the earth, because it's a good project. It's a great project. When you donate your time to help people who are underprivileged, I don't think there's 2 ways of being a saint in this world. So Franco has used all of you who are here, because he started and many people joined him. We thank all those who joined Franco. Till this day, we thank all the donors. We would never be where we are without you guys. So this job is obviously not mine. I might sound so articulate on this mic, but it's just my job. It's what I do on a regular basis. I am DJ Skipper Jerry Cleo. Tonight, the MC is not me. I am the DJ, I am the projector guy. I'm just running all over the place. The cameraman already warned me. He said he's going to come do my job. I'll put you to that test. Tonight, our MC is the one that you've already seen. She's probably interviewed most of the people who were brave enough to go talk in front of our how do you call it, the backdrop? Yes. So tonight, we picked the finest. We didn't hesitate when they mentioned that she was going to be here tonight. We didn't hesitate to give her this job. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my utmost pleasure to introduce the MC of tonight. On this, it says MC Dawn Paul. Dawn as in from dawn till dusk, but she's the Dawn. She's bringing it up, AKA Dr. Dawn. If you show some love by either clapping so hard, Dr. Dawn is going to come up here, grab the mic, and keep the job going. All right, now Dr. Dawn.
How are you, brother? Clap it up for DJ Skipper. Yes, good evening, everybody. Clap it up, more for the organization, not for me, but for what this organization does. Thank you so much to Franco, to the board, for having me back for another year. I do not take it lightly. It's about purpose for me, right? This organization is doing the work, and Brother John said it when we were out on the red carpet. The money you give goes to the young girls that this organization is helping. We are here tonight to do some, and we're talking about period poverty. We take things for granted in this country. And I'm gonna be very candid. Can I be candid? Yes. We have young girls, and Eunice, you talked about this. They're using grass during their cycle. They're using newspaper. They can't go to school. How would you feel if that was you or your child? So these are things we take very lightly. So I'm glad to be here tonight, but it's about giving. So we thank all of our sponsors, but the very last page in your program, take a look at that, because that is the page where you can give, you can donate, share with others about this amazing, amazing organization. But I love the spirit of this place. So I am gonna introduce, without further ado, we're gonna keep this thing going, Dr. Eric. Let's introduce, big round of applause for Dr. Eric, who is our board chair who is the Bright Lights Project Board Chair. God bless you, Doc.
Thank you, Dado. Good evening, everybody. For those who were here last year, I want to say thank you for coming again. And if you are here for the first time, we hope that we're gonna convince you that what we're doing is worth your time again next year. So thank you all for making it. We know our guests are striking it slowly. It's a Friday evening, but I'm hopeful and I'm positive that everything will start, will work while waiting for the rest to join us. So that said, if you have a few words have been used to describe him, but I think I want to add a few other words. If you have somebody who is indefatigable, somebody who is so infectious with his passion to go out, all out, lay it down for others, I think I'm really happy and I feel blessed to be walking behind the shadow of Franco for what he is doing. I remember when this thing all started, as DJ Skipper said, there was absolutely nothing. He pulled a number of people and said, let's sing a song. Exactly, they started with a song, they sang a song, the mayor of Houston was supportive, and then Ebola hit. They say, we don't know how to raise money, but let's sing another song. Well, now we can sing a song. They sang another song, they got some money, they went to Sierra Leone, and when Ebola hit, a lot of the girls who were there, they lost their parents, a lot of them were forced into prostitution. As the night unfolds, you will be humbled by some of the work that this fellow has led us through, what the testimony of the girls, what they went through, and what their lives are now. Again, for those who were here last year, we said there is war in Cameroon. There are kids, there are young girls who were stranded in Douala, there are young girls who were stranded in Bamenda. They needed help. Again, as the night unfolds, we'll let you know, we'll show you that whatever you gave last year, you went to do the job, because we have girls who are enrolled in OIC. Some of them are graduated. Some of the girls, I think because of time constraints, we couldn't get this, but I promise you next year, what the girls in Bamenda are doing with their tailoring, the type of fabrics that they are coming up with, they are unmatched by any other. The idea they are coming up with is unmatched. And we'll certainly see some of those this evening. And next year, I promise you, we won't go somewhere else to get stuff for auction. It is going to be the products that these girls have put together. So this year, if you look at the front of the book that we have for you, and as our MC Riley highlighted, we have a special mission. This is something that I feel uncomfortable talking about it for reasons that you can expect what a girl back in Cameroon will do. I remember when we were back in school, if a girl was having her period, if any of the boys there knew that was happening, it was hell for her. And it was like a stigma to them. And even if you are out here, things are much better for you. Every lady in here, they have a budget, a monthly budget for that. They have a monthly budget for their personal hygiene. You can imagine what our girls are going through back home. They don't have that. They don't have the money. But this year, I think we're going to change that. We're going to start changing that. The girls who are in Sierra Leone, the girls who are in Cameroon, what we hope and what you support us with this year, what we're going to do is that we're going to get material. Brightlight Project doesn't give handout gifts. Brightlight Project empowers. We'll train them, provide them the first set of material. We'll train them. They'll be able to produce those reusable personal hygiene products for themselves. They'll be able to make money for that, make money selling that, and maybe in the next 2-3 years, We'll have to leave them on their own. They should be able to, they will be independent just as the girls in Bamenda. I don't think we can ask for money again to say we want to go give girls in Bamenda to train them how to sew traditional. We will not do that. It's something else. And that's how Brightlight Project is. We're not on one spot. Where it is hard, where we see that there is a need, and we're lucky that we have a good number of people down back in Africa, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, Cameroon, that are dedicated to highlight, as Brightlight. They shine the light where the trouble is, in the trouble areas. When they shine the light, we see it, and then we convey whatever product, whatever you support us with, to that location, and that's how we do it. Brightlight empowers. Brightlight doesn't hand out gifts. Brightlight doesn't hand out day-to-day bread. No, we train and we empower people to take care of themselves. Right. So that's it. Again, we train, we empower, and whatever you donate, whatever you give, we tell you that 25% of it goes to administration. The administration is not the administration in the US. When Franco is traveling to Cameroon, when anything is happening, when he's traveling to Sierra Leone, Liberia, most of the time the money is out of pocket. The portion that goes for administration is for the staff in Sierra Leone, in Guinea, in Liberia, and in Cameroon. And I've been leaving out Nigeria, but Nigeria is part of, 2 years ago, all of our efforts were focused in Nigeria, before Cameroon last year. So all of these areas, we don't take any money out of it. I know there are people who have come, I'm like, yeah, you should say all the money away from going to stuff. I'm like, man, you have no clue. You have absolutely no clue. It is not, if what Brightlight is doing, if it was for the money, there would have been no Brightlight. It's the heart. It's the heart that is moving. I'm really proud to stand behind this guy, to stand by him and see how he puts his arm out there and makes things happen. And he also has an eye. He has an eye to look for the right people to join him. And I can't be prouder to work with the people that he's put together as the rest of the board members. Today we have Dr. Marvin Govina joining me here, please. And another indefatigable sister, Marcian Hemabu. She's, so let me just tell you a story, give you a little story of how Brightlight operates. So, when Franco has gone all over and starts saying, I'm hooked, there's just no way that this can happen. Last year, I say, okay, I have 100, I have 200, take this, send to Sierra Leone. And then last year, earlier this year we were stopped because we were really looking for a way to register the organization in Cameroon so that we can also have access to resources from Cameroon too. And as we were struggling, Marvin said, hey, let me see what I can do. But now I can say Brightlight Project is proudly a registered NGO in Cameroon. And thanks again for that. Same with our sister. When things are going tough, say, hey, don't worry, I have this covered. And that is how it works. And I pray that we'll certainly have more people join us and that we'll keep it going. And again, thank you all. Thanks for coming. We have a full room. I'm not worried about the people that we have in here. We are very happy that you were able to make it. We're going to have a great evening. We're going to raise funds. Yes. Next year, those girls, they will be able to produce their own hygienic material. They will be able to sell some and make some money. And the year after that, they should be able to buy their own material and continue the production while we do something else. Thank you. Welcome again.
Thank you. Give another round of applause to Dr. Eric, to the board. And he touched on something, and DJ Skipper, when you were describing Franco, I was thinking of the word selfless as well. So great minds think alike. And Dr. Eric, empower is the word. You throw money at people, but what is that going to do? You have to give them tools and resources so they can be empowered, making money, pouring into their own communities, right? That's the way it should work. But now it is time for prayer. Every king has his queen. So let's clap it up for Queen Eunice as she comes up here and blesses us before we begin.
Thank you so much, Dr. John. Good evening, everybody. If you don't mind, will you rise up just for a second? Thank you. Thank you. Father Lord, we just want to thank you. Thank you for bringing us together in the spirit of generosity. We ask that as we share this meal tonight, you will be in our midst. We pray, oh Lord, that as we eat, we should pause and think about those that do not have. We should reflect and be grateful that we are here and we do have. And Father Lord, we call upon you tonight as we join together in unity and hope, as we say the grace together, as we eat this food. Bless us, O Lord, as we say our gift, which you have us to receive from your goodness, through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name.
Amen. Everyone, you can line up and eat, and we will let you network, eat for about 30, 35 minutes, and then we are going to hear from our speakers tonight, okay?
Another summer day, another night away in Paris and Rome, but I wanna go home. Maybe surrounded by million people's eyes, still feel all alone, but I wanna go home. I miss you, you know. And I feel just like I'm living someone else's life. Feels like my heart will beat. Now, baby, you're right. And I know just how it means to live somebody else's life. My words are cold and flat. You deserve more than that. Another summer day has come and gone away, even in Paris and Rome, and I wanna go home. Let me go, let me go. No, I'm just
Again, everybody, cash bar right here. But you can go through these doors. Can they go through here, Franco? In the restaurant next door, you have a credit card. Okay?
so back to the merchant ship. Minutes left to go from the bottomless, but my head was made strong by the end of the Almighty. We followed in this generation, triumphantly. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? It's all I ever. Redemption song. Redemption song. Redemption song. Redemption song. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. Not rid ourselves and free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy. None of them can stop the time. you to sing these songs of freedom. All I ever had, redemption song. Bright light, it'll mean this thing's kind, and I know nothing's alright. Praying for the people staying dry, and I know nothing's alright. Then you see his face, and he said to you, you gotta keep your spirit high, 'cause in this world we've got some trouble. Or even you worry, you make them double. Every time you see the bright light shine on you, when you don't know, just stay alive. 'Cause in this world you got trouble, just stay alive. Every second, every minute, just stay alive. It could be you. Don't tell me you don't know, Dr. Dawn. Don't tell me you don't know. Don't tell me you don't know.
Yes. I'm talking about talent, y'all. What we see on the stage and shouldn't be on the stage. DJ Skipper, clap it up for him again. This is talent. But that's another topic. That's not why we're here tonight. But DJ Skipper, you could sing to me all night. I was just, ooh, come on, honey. Yes. But you all, I have 2 words for you, and I want you to repeat it after me. Silent. Auction. In the back, do not forget, sign up, okay? And Miss Marcy, raise your hand. If you have checks, please give it to the beautiful sister in blue, Miss Marcy, our board member, okay? And thank you to everyone who has been doing red carpet interviews. We are going to continue to do those for the evening, okay? We're doing this for Franco. We're doing this to push out the message of Brightlights, to show that he has support behind it. That's how we continue to get more funds, okay? So if I pull you, don't be nervous, okay? But we're doing this for Franco and the organization. Now, I'm going to introduce a sister who is just, can I say, a global powerhouse? We've got to introduce her in the right way. Dr. Ruth A. Marti. She is going to speak to us on domestic resource mobilization. And this sister is a minister, a prophetess. She has a nonprofit. She is celebrating 11 years as an entrepreneur, as a successful entrepreneur. Clap it up for that, because that's not easy. But let's welcome this sister as she speaks and blesses us and pours into us. Big round of applause. Let's show her lots of love. Dr. Ruth A. Marti. Come on, sister.
Music man, I would like to steal him from you. Hallelujah. Well, actually, I celebrated 12 years this year. My for-profit actually came into my spirit like a nonprofit. My father came here to do his PhD in Athens, Ohio. Brought my mom along. Mom could not stay without her children, and so brought the children along. Over 20-something years being here. I ran an employment agency that celebrated 12 years this year. The reason I went into that particular business was I saw how immigrant parents gravel for employment back in those days.
And in Athens, Ohio, it is as small as my hand. As a colored person, the job you can do is clean dishes or clean people's houses. And so when a vision comes into your belly, it is like a pregnancy. You have two choices. It's either you give birth to it or you ignore that's abortion to that vision. And so I'm sure that everyone that is here has one vision or another. And the vision that was given unto our brother and his beloved wife and family, it is a calling. And our foundation, World Arise Foundation, August this year celebrated 10 years. Through World Arise, I travel globally. And so I am able to tell you that the work that he has on his shoulder, it is immense and it is a lot to do. And to pull powerhouses in this room alone itself is a lot of work. Amen. And so, because we realize the busy schedules that we have, I am called and upon, as delighted as I am, to speak on the impact of domestic relations here for the nonprofits. I think most of the time when we hear nonprofits, or in our terms NGO, our mind casts back to Africa. And we want to, in a hurry, to find out what we can ship to Africa and who can we impact and all of that. And it is all fabulous to do that. But have you thought about the people that lives next door to you? Have you thought about the school that you are attending? That next student that is living on Roman noodles for the whole week? Have you thought about the backpack, that somebody's backpack is really not what it should be? Or maybe you've seen him 2 years in a row with the same backpack. And so tune our minds here domestically and figure out that I also have a vision. And the vision is to help Brightlight to be able to push the agenda forward. I start by saying, and as a minister, James 1:27, and it says, religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their affliction and to keep oneself unstained from this world. And so forget about you being a Pentecostal. Forget about you being non-denominational. Forget about Orthodox. It says real religion is when you take care of those that have none. Come on. And so even if you don't service, just by the act of contributing to Brightlight, you just went to church. Why? Because that's your real religion. And so we think about going and singing the hymns and doing the offering and tithes. That's all good. I'm a minister. My church is on Cypress Creek Parkway. So I advocate for your tithes and your offerings because it helps us build. But it says real religion is what he's doing and what his wife and family are doing. And so here, nonprofit provides a way for people to work together for a common good. Today, I'm not here to give a speech, but I'm here to open your eyes to something. That we work together for the common good. I think when you get close to somebody with a nonprofit, your mind begins to think, how can I make mine? How can I get this? How can I get that? Well, I'm not willing to push you to the next agenda. But it says to join hands with them is joining together for a common good. And to transform and share the beliefs of hopes into action. It says nonprofits nowadays give shape into the boldest dreams and the highest ideals and noble causes. And so right now, I can boldly say that nonprofits are catapulting the economy into the next level. Because I guarantee you that Joe Biden cannot come here We went to feed the homeless the other day. Joe Biden cannot come here to Houston, Texas and go to the downtown location and feed almost 100 and something people. But that is a citizen. That is someone in need. That is somewhere that you can practice your religion. And so if you're a Roman Catholic, that is where that you can intercede on behalf of your brother. It says right now in America there is 1.3 million non-profits. That's the statistics. 1.3 million. There are non-profits servicing girls here, non-profits dealing with homeless shelters, non-profits dealing with battered women, non-profits dealing, of course, with, the AIDS community, every other thing. And we come to inspire, enlighten, and we make sure it doesn't matter what walk of life that you are in. It doesn't matter your age, your gender, your race, or even your status in life. Today I want to encourage you that practice true religion, which is giving to those that are in need, which is opening your heart out to those that are in need. I will go into further by saying, 10 years ago I opened an orphanage in Ghana. I'm from Ghana, West Africa. And the orphanage, the second girl I brought in suffered from epilepsy. And the reason I got her was because everything from the arm to the arm and chest here are all burnt. Because by cooking, the episode came. When the episode comes, it doesn't know where you are. So you shake, and whatever you're doing, that's where you fall. And at that time, she has cooked pab or eba or banku, and lifted it and put it there, going to grab something to come and fetch it. And stood there on the fire and shaked and went into there. When I met Gifty, imagine a young girl, no hands, everything burnt and gloves like this. So you can't use it for anything. And excuse me to say, when it got to the second year and she became a woman, if you know what I mean. And the nannies in my house there, having to help her every time when she wants to use number one or number two, bath herself, eat something, do this, do that. She had the amenities. She has the pad. She has everything else, but just not the hand to use it. We partnered with Kolebu Teaching Hospital and reconstructed the right hand. And today is not our event, I would have showed you. But I say this to say that just one hand of freedom, it was like Jesus Christ was here on earth. And we are recently planning on taking her to India to do the bigger one. So I tell you, these are girls that have arms to receive those pads, that have arms to use those pads, that understand what it is to go without. It is not fair for us to wake up and go sit in a church and worship our living God, whilst your sister, your brother, your child, your grandchild is sitting in there without. So set all of us apart. All the leaders, all the speakers, all our wives and husbands, set all of us apart and look at those that are needing your help. And so I leave you to tell you that domestically and even internationally, James 1:27, it says religion that is pure. So we can pray the rosary and still do the work. We can speak in tongues and still do the work. We can love on God and still do the work. So domestically, there are homeless people that are out there. Join us so we feed them.
If you can't roll your sleeves to help us feed them, can you help us with something? Any non-perishable items is welcome. Your clothing that you don't use anymore is welcome. Your shoes that you don't use anymore is welcome. Over 12 years of doing this, if I give you every story that I have encountered, you cry here. But I tell you to tell you that God picked such people to be able to advocate. So with our hands stretched wide, we want you to also stretch your hands towards us so that we make it into one body. And so as I leave you with this. Let this sound in your mind that in Houston, Texas, for Brightlight to make it here is because of you and because of me. Because religion that is pure and undefiled before God, the Father that is to visit orphans and widows and those that are afflicted. So today, when we are going, go with us so that you will practice your religion. When we are giving, give with us so that you practice your religion. And when you see him, encourage him and so that you practice your religion. God bless you for all that you guys do. Wonderful, wonderful woman. And the strength that you have to back our brother. I think that we give the accolades to him. But it's actually you. Because the strength has to be drawn from you. So God bless you for all that you do. I personally know that if it's not my husband, I can't do what I do. Because sometimes you go out of your mind. But it takes a partner to calm your spirits down. Because of everything that you see with this your kuru eyes. Amen. And so today, I call you to join us domestically. Help us feed the homeless. Help us go to the youth centers. Help us do the foster kids and all of that. And I know that as you join us, next year by this time, I will be here again to see the same faces. And I will ask the question, how is your contribution throughout the year? Because real Christianity is taking care of those that are weak. Amen.
Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
God bless you, Dr. Martin. Yeah, real Christianity. Yeah, it's easy to talk about it, but are we putting in the work to help our brothers and sisters in need? Thank you so much. Clap it up again for Dr. Martin. Thank you, sister. Yes, yes. 2 words, you know the words. Silent. Auction, that's right. Yes, don't forget, sign up for the silent auction. Silent auction. Thank you, Dr. Marti. Now I am going to introduce another powerhouse. Yeah, who is a friend. She's also a sorority sister. She's my soror. This sister, I tell you, just a selfless spirit. And she's doing God's work globally. Alicia, I tell you, Franco, when you mentioned her name, I was like, yeah, you want me to reach out to her? And he already did. You know, I saw her name on the program. I said, amen. So continue to let God lead you who should speak at these events, because we have the right keynote speaker here. Thesia, and I'm going to read a little bit about her. She's giving us the keynote address, but she is an international speaker. She has been featured on the Oprah Winfrey Network. She's an author. She trains leaders globally, and she's about to go to Africa in a few weeks and continue to do God's work over there. But the Oprah Winfrey Network, all that is fine. But she's doing God's work. She's doing God's work. It's not about being popular. Thesia is about purpose. Let's give a big round of applause to Thesia Jenkins, who is giving us the keynote address. Come on up, Miss Thesia Jenkins, 14. That's right.
Like that little theme music. Make it feel all Hollywood. Let's do it one more time. One more again.
Bongan, Mrs. Bongan, and all of the other board members who are here. Let me wait. Board members, wave your hand. Let's give it up for the board members. Because here's the thing, is that you, as a leader, you gotta have people who support you, right? And you need active board members, amen? And so we want to be thankful for those who have come alongside the Bongans in doing this great work. Mr. Bongan reached out to me to speak, and so very grateful for that. Just a little bit, I'm going to get myself warmed up here and get into it. As the young folks, they're going to get into it. Our theme this evening is about helping young women who are making the transition from girlhood to womanhood. And I love how God just confirms things and he brings it together. Because each year I come up, I don't come up, I ask God, I say, Lord, what's my word for this year? And in 22, my word was build. And in 23, it is going to be transformation, transition. And I'm a walker for you camera people, okay? Just going to tell you that. And I thought, how perfect to be able to talk about transition, the transition from girlhood to womanhood. And as I listen to about the need for something as simple, something that many of us here in this country take for granted. This thing. Everybody know what this thing is? Okay, don't act shy. That's the other part of it. Because I grappled with, should I bring this thing out? Because there's shame that clothes this as well. Would you agree? Because most men are not going to go to the store and get this, right? No, you're not. Because there's shame attached to it. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things this evening. And when you time me, I want to go back 20, 25 minutes. I never like to stay longer than I should because my daddy said, don't stay too long and I'll never ask you back again. Womanhood, girlhood, lots of shame around being a woman at times. The work that the Brightlight Project is doing and why I am so impressed and I want to support what Mr. Bongan is doing is because for the last 28 years, the work that I have been committed to is gender-based violence. Violence against women. The equality of girls and women. We have reached the 8 billion mark of how many people are in this world. 8 billion people. 49.6 of those individuals are female. However, less than 10% of women around the world actually sit in leadership positions in corporate America. There's something called a pink ghetto, which includes our teachers, our counselors, and our nurses. Because many times those are lowest paid careers. And yes, nursing, you can make good money. However, your male counterparts will make more. And so there continues to be inequity as we move into 2023. And so that's what I want to talk to you about the importance of supporting these young women as they transition into womanhood. I want to read, this is a quote I came across. There's a beautiful young lady. She's from Nigeria, travels the country, is a feminist, activist. And I will not necessarily say that I'm a feminist. I just believe people ought to be treated right. That part, okay? And I came across this quote because on YouTube, she has a video called A Single Story. By a show of hands, has anyone ever seen that video, A Single Story? It is so good. It is amazing. And I want to encourage you that if you have not seen that video, to go onto YouTube and look up A Single Story. Because the power of that when she's talking is about learning to see the world through different eyes. I love Dr. Barney when she talks about doing things on a domestic level, right? So it's about being domestic and it's also being willing to reach across the water and do things globally so that we can begin to see life experiences through different eyes and not to just pigeonhole people. And many times what has happened to our girls and women is they get pigeonholed into these roles. So here is the quote by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I did that, didn't I? Let me do that one more again. I practiced so mad. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I have chosen to no longer apologize for my femaleness and my femininity. And I want to be respected in all my femaleness I deserve to be. I submit to you this evening that the young girls of Sierra Leone and Cameroon deserve to have the respect every month for 3 to 7 days as their cycle. I cannot imagine using grass, can't even fathom it. However, here's the thing, is that many times, and for most women, no matter where you are globally, you learn to make the best out of what you have. However, I don't believe that that is the purpose that God has for us, that you only do the best you can. Because why? People don't see you as equal, because people don't see you as someone who makes a contribution to society. Here's the thing about growing up. I read a book once called Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret. How many of you ever heard of that book, Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret? Okay, Judy Blume, get the book. I like to drop nuggets if y'all haven't found that out already. Excellent book. I'm 56, so the book has been around a long time. And I remember getting the book because someone told me that in the book is about a girl who is coming of age. And she gets her period. It's a big deal. And so I wanted to get the book and to read about when she got her period. Why? Because again, talking about how sometimes being a girl, being a woman, that we learn to live in shame. Growing up, I wasn't told about getting my period. This is all going to come together. It just happened one day, and I thought I was dying because no one had ever explained the process. Come on. Yeah. And how many, even right here in the city of Houston, how many girls that this has come upon and they're like, what? What is happening? And then imagine not being equipped to handle this transition that you were going through. Not to have something readily available to you like this. And it made me think about the work that Brightlight Projects is doing, because this is just one of the initiatives. But I believe that the overarching initiative is to create a space in this world where girls and women realize that they too have value. Tonight, when you contribute to ensure that girls and women in Cameroon and Sierra Leone, that they have access to this. Access is very important. The work that I do around domestic violence and sexual assault is making sure that people have access to services when they are survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. Because many people don't even know that services are available. Access. Everybody say the word access. Say it again. Access. Access is very important. This here is just a very simple pad, but this is a tool that a young girl, 9, 10, 11, 15, that this is a tool that will ensure she gets to go to school. That she doesn't have to sit at home because she doesn't have access. Everybody say access. And that's what you're providing this evening. That this can become a barrier. It can become a barrier to a young woman becoming a teacher. It can become a barrier to a young woman becoming an engineer. It can become a barrier for a young woman becoming an IT specialist because she's missing up to 60 days out of school a year because she does not have access. Everybody say access. Access. To something as simple as this. I want you to think about that. That a young girl cannot continue her education at the same pace that her male counterpart. And here is the reality, that this is just one of the barriers that set girls and women back. The other barriers that set girls and women back is the fact that 1 in 4 girls are sexually assaulted or abused before they ever turn 18 years old. This is a global issue. 1 in 4 has a barrier. The other barriers that set girls and women back is that what we know is that by the time a girl gets to the 6th or 7th grade, she is no longer being called on in class the way that her male counterparts are. And especially in math. And I happen to know that there's a young lady over there in a red coat that loves math. However, here's the reality. Right here in Houston, Texas, there's the possibility that when she is in the 6th grade, by the time she gets to the 7th or 8th grade, that her name will not be called on as often as the young men sitting around her. Which is why we have such a low capacity for women in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And tying this all back again for that young girl who loves math. I had the opportunity, I like to Netflix and chill, and I Netflix and chill by myself because my husband ain't gone. That's why I Netflix and chill by myself right now. And I had the opportunity to watch the movie, The Fisherman's Diary. Anybody seen that one? Woo! Ain't that some good stuff? I was just laying there just crying. Oh my God. And I was thinking about this event, and I thought, here's a young woman. So talking about access, and not just the pad, but even having access to walk into a classroom. Because tradition says, nobody in our family has ever done that. And you're not going to do it either. Tradition. Tradition becomes a barrier. My mother, who was a Pentecostal preacher, there were times that she was blocked from standing in a pulpit because of tradition. Everybody say tradition. Tradition can be a good thing, but tradition can break us. Tradition breaks women all around the world who are told that you cannot get an education. Tradition breaks women all around the world. It says you can only go so far. We'll give you the CEO position, but your male counterpart's going to make $200,000 and you're going to make $120,000. Because traditionally, women never make it that far on our salary range. So it starts off with withholding something as simple as access to a pad. Then it becomes blocking the way to education, which is powerful. Then it leaks into blocking the way to promotions in the workplace. And then, going back to the work that I've done for 28 years, it's about blocking access to have equal power in a marriage. And the reality is, according to Genesis, that he created both man and woman, and he gave both dominion over the earth. Not one over the other. That part. Everybody say access again. Access. You're here tonight to give access to young women as they transition into women. The period. As I begin to start wrapping this up, my topic is really after the period. After the period. After I have made it past the barriers of not having access to something this simple. After I have made past the barrier of not having access to equal education. After I have made it through the barrier of not making the same money when I have the same amount of education experience. After the period. Everybody say after the period. No, say it one more time like you mean it. After the period. Now here's the thing, I looked up the word period, because I'm a nerd like that. And here's the things about the period. For those who and you don't have any grammar people who are like majoring in English, where my English, where academians at? Okay. So the period is important, is it not, my sister? Why is the period important? Say that again? It tells you the end of a sentence, and what did I hear over here? The end. And the end means that there is a beginning. Come on, walk with me. After the period, after I go through the transition, that sometimes we think that the period means it's only an end. But it's only an end if I have no vision, right? If there is vision, there's a new chapter coming. There's a new thought coming. After the period, everybody say after the period. After the period girls who are making that transition from girlhood to womanhood, that they are now going to have a new chapter in their life. Because now they can say, I can go to school. Yeah, I've got this issue going on for the next 3 to 7 days, but I can show up, but I don't have to be ashamed.
That's right.
Because again, I can remember being a little girl. And I can remember sometimes having them accidents. And you put that sweater around you. I don't know if anybody ever had that happen to you. Put that sweater around you. And you just be shamed walking down the hall. Now imagine if you didn't have this. What that might be like. To be sitting in class and know that you don't have access to this and you got to stand up. And maybe for the rest of your school life, you're known as the girl who had that big old stain on the back of her skirt, her dress, or her pants. And it puts you into such shame that it's traumatizing. And you say, I'm never going back to that school again. This is deeper than this pad, people. Everybody say after the period. After the period, after I have been shamed, after the period when I've lost my self-esteem, my self-efficacy. Because I am so embarrassed by something that is natural. It is a natural part of life. It is nature's way of signaling that you are growing up, and that for many, not all, but for many, you will now be able to give life. And yet we wrap shame around this thing. Come on now. Everybody say after the period. After the period. Yeah, after the period is a new chapter. After the period is a new beginning. And so when you contribute, you ensure that young girls around the country, young girls in Cameroon and Sierra Leone, have a new chapter, because what they now have a tool. This is a tool that says I can continue my education. The other part of a period is about a period in history, such as the Renaissance period. We can even go there and talk about the Holocaust period. We can talk about slavery, all of that. It is a period. It's something that happens in history. Now here's the thing, that violence against women, gender-based violence, oppression, inequality, has existed since the beginning of time. How many of you are familiar with the daughters of Zelophehad? And I hope I'm saying that name right. Y'all, in the Old Testament, 5 girls left behind, there was no sons. They go to Moses and they say, look, that's our property over there. They say we can't have it because we ain't men. Moses goes to God and says, hey, what's up with this? You know, he didn't leave behind no boys. It's got them 5 girls. So what we gonna do? Give it to the uncles, give it to the nephews. You know, that's rightly theirs. So here's the thing, this conversation ain't new, people. So I'm ready to say after the period. Everybody say after the period. After the period, we need to change the trajectory of this conversation about a woman's worth and her right to show up in all spaces, her right to be an heir. Those conversations are still being had to this day. I have no son. Who will I leave the business to? Well, you're a pretty bright sister. I bet you could run a business. You don't have to be male. And here's the other part of this, is that it's about us coming together, because don't get it twisted, I love men. I love my husband, I love my daddy, I love my son. Again, it goes back to in Genesis that he said, I created man and woman and gave them both dominion over the earth. That can we leave the period of oppression of 49.6% of the population and to give a peace offering. Put your hand out. I ain't gonna touch it, but just put your hand out. And be able to say, we can walk together. We can walk together. Yes, we can walk together. That is what Brightlight Projects is doing, is saying we need equity, because here is the thing, that there are things that women do well, there are things that men do well, and it's about us coming together. It is time for us to get out of the period of oppression and sitting back and saying, well, that's just what it means to be a woman, because that's what I hear time and time again as I go into schools and I talk to young people about domestic violence, sexual harassment, and I've had young men as early as 2019 It's one of the last classes that I went to in high school. And the young man is like sharing with him about the cycle of violence and things that happen to him in relationships. And he says to me, look, my mom got cussed out and beat this morning. What's the big deal? He was like 16 years old. And that's the conversation that I hear and that I've heard for 28 years. I've heard young girls tell me that have been sexually harassed. I was meeting with one of my staff today, and a guy grabbed her in the hallway and made him kiss her. And if you got young people in your lives, middle school and high school students, I want you to go home and have a conversation with your daughters and sons. Because that's what's happening. According to the American Association of University Women, there was a report done around 1992, and it said that the most dangerous place in a school is the hallway. And the middle school is the most dangerous place. Why? Because that's most likely where your daughters will be sexually harassed. Just like the young girl this week who was grabbed and forced to be kissed. That's what's happening in our schools. And if something as simple as a pad is not readily available, that means that a country's focus is not on valuing young women. And if they aren't being given access, everybody say access. Access. If they're not being given access to a little simple pad, what else are they enduring? That part. The other part of period, so number one, we know that after the period is a new chapter because it ends a sentence. We know that period is about a historical period that happens in time. And then also, just a period means that it is about time. And we know that for 3 to 7 days, for most females between the ages of 9 to maybe their 40s or 50s, that there is a time that there is a shedding. And that shedding happens so that life can happen. That shedding happens so that they can be overall healthy. And so after the period is about young girls and women transitioning into their best selves. That's what tonight is about. So, here's the call to action. Is to ask yourself, how can I help young women? And is that my time going off over there? No. Okay. That was the saying man saying, go get off the stage. I'm getting off. Is to ask yourself these 3 questions about after the period. Is how do I support young girls transitioning into womanhood to feel empowered, to not be clothed in shame because of what happens 3 to 7 days out of the month? How do I help young girls as they transition into womanhood to be able to realize their fullest potential? That they don't have to live inside of a box and only be relegated to certain careers and certain roles in life. How do I, after the period, address an issue of oppression and inequality that has been here since biblical times? And we know that it is not the will of God because He granted those 5 daughters of Zelophehad their inheritance. Are you willing to grant the inheritance of freedom to young women and girls? Thank you.
God bless you. Big round of applause for Thesia Jenkins. Somebody say after the period. After the period. That's right, and y'all still woke in here. I'm just making sure we're not getting slipped. Thesia, thank you. Thank you for blessing us. Now, we have to introduce the man. And I'm not going to say the man of the hour because it's not about him, but this selfless work this brother does. And I think just, we all have such love for Franco and for Miss Eunice, but Let's welcome Franco. Come on, Franco. I thought I saw you over here wearing, yeah, clap it up. And actually stand to your feet for our executive director, Franco, who has some special, come on, stand up, clap it up, clap it up. Come on, Franco. We love you, brother. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Ron. Thank you so much. Can we clap again for Ms. Jenkins, please? I happen to have met Ms. Jenkins through one of our workshops. Ms. Jenkins is the director of the Harris County Domestic Violence Institute for more than 15 years. Clap for that place. So when we were thinking, myself and my other board members, Marvin, Dr. Marvin, can you clap for Dr. Marvin? All the way from McAllen. Marvin, come on. And Eric, guys, come on, please. Please come on. Marcien, come on. I can't stand here because this is not my work. This is the work of people. So thank you so much. When we're thinking about, this year's event and the theme, fighting period poverty, there was no other person who was fit to handle the keynote speech than Ms. Jenkins. Because the work we do, most of our work we do in Africa, is centered around victims of domestic violence. Is centered around what we call it in English. We use a clean word and we say commercial sex workers. Young girls who find themselves on the streets due to circumstances beyond their control. And they have to be on the street because they have to provide food for the younger siblings. That's why Dr. Eric talked about when he opened, he said, what we do here at Brightlight is empowerment. Because if you look at the traditional model of NGOs, since 1960, billions of dollars keep pouring in, year out into Africa. But why are we getting poorer and poorer? Because there is a disconnect. Because the West has a wrong diagnosis of Africa. They think we are hungry. They think we need food. No, that's not what we need. We need capacity building. We need transformation. And the only way you can do that is to empower somebody. You give them the tools so they can fight for themselves. That's why last July, I was opportune to address the UN General Assembly. I talked about the work that we do on the ground in all these countries in Africa. And one gentleman from the Ivory Coast, he came to me, he said, Franco, when you come and talk at the UN, that's not how you talk. I said, oh, how did I talk? He said, no. Then I told him, I said, where you come from? He said, from Ivory Coast. He said he's part of the delegation of the Minister of External Relations from Ivory Coast. So he's, I think, third in command. So I told him, I said, I understand that when you come here to talk, you're talking about trying to fight for your next appointment. But I talk because I'm on the ground and I see the people suffering. I see women struggling to put food on the table. So my talk is always going to be different from yours. So I say that just to say, this humble gentleman and lady standing here, there's a different thing to have a vision, but to have support for that vision, I think is the most important. So I want you to clap for the board again, please. All right, thanks. You may be seated. And before I go ahead, let me call the owner, the landlady. Come on, Julius, let me call the landlady. Please clap for her. I always say, if I had met Eunice in the United States, would have been divorced a long time ago. Very long time. Yes, because she knew me when I was young, and she knows that I am one of those crazy people who want to do things that are unheard of. I remember the day when I came back from Washington D.C. after we did the concert for Ebola relief, and I came back to her. I said, you know what? She said no, and then she said, when you start talking like this, you want to say something. You want to say something. I said no. I said, you know what? She said, I said, in 1 week I'm going to Sierra Leone. He said, where? To go where? You know, shake. But I always know her soft spot and how to talk to her. And got up one day, went to Sierra Leone, flew to Loki Airport, knew nobody. Nobody, absolutely. So when I went to Freetown, I went there because I wanted to organize a concert for Ebola relief. We did one here in Washington. We raised a lot of money, and we passed that money over to Doctors Without Borders and the International Medical Corps. So the day we took that check to go give at Doctors Without Borders, we met one lady. That lady is from Zambia. She was a secretary. And that lady said, but you're coming to give this money here. Do you know you as an African can do something like this even better than what these people are doing there? And that's when the bomb just blew in my head. Bam! And as I was coming back to Houston, I already had my plan. I was going to Sierra Leone, I was going to Guinea-Conakry, I was going to Liberia. Nothing was going to stop me. And that's how I made that journey. So when I went the first stop was in Freetown. In Freetown, it was to organize another concert for Ebola relief for orphans who had lost their parents. Very big concert we did there with local artists, very big concert. And then while we were on the radio, a day before the concert, we were being interviewed. Then the first lady heard us talk. And then the first lady asked her assistant, said, I need you to call that radio station. I need you to talk to those people. So the assistant called the radio station and she talked to those people. And the radio guy said, that, they wanted to talk to one of us. I said, who's calling? They said, no, there's a guy here who's calling. He says he's calling on behalf of the first lady. And the guy told us, he said, the first lady would like to talk to you guys. The next day was their independence celebration at their parliament. So the next day we went there. She was busy. She took 5 minutes out of her time. She came and talked to us. See, one thing you have to realize, French Africa and English Africa is day and night. In Cameroon, I could not even meet with the chargé d'affaires. Yes, chargé d'affaires. You will meet a chargé d'affaires. In English Africa, the president is not a celebrity. Yes, that was my first experience that I saw. It's very different. So when we would talk to her, and then she said, look, I heard you guys over the radio. This is something you guys are come to do here. It's very nice. But listen, when this Ebola came, we had nothing in place for this. Ebola has gone. We have all these children who have lost their parents to Ebola. We have no plan for them. So when I heard you guys talk about it, I was so impressed. And then she said, do not just come here and do this concert and go. Make sure we stay here so that we can provide long-term support for these children. That's how we ended up in Sierra Leone. And she gave the number of her assistant, said, any problem you have, call that number. That's how the next day, if I came back here, I called my wife, I said, you know what? I'm going to know when I call her, what I will tell her. I didn't have courage. I didn't tell her. I said, just call to greet you. But the next day, we went and we registered the organization in Sierra Leone. And this is where we are today. So, I say this long story to say, sometimes the biggest thing is not fear itself. Sometimes it's just the thinking about fear. So, for us to be here today is by the grace of God. Thank you all who have paid for tickets. These tickets is what we use for our operations. And then the sponsors who come here to support us is for us to be able to hold events like this, for us to be able to put community outreach programs that we've been doing. So, thank you all for all the support. Thank you so much. And I'm going to permit me here to, first of all, acknowledge our sponsors from last year, 2021. So please, these are the people who provide us with the engine. These are the people who make us, who give us the strength to be able to sustain our work. So please,
I'm a beneficiary from the Brightlight project. I saw Brightlight. I'm so happy because my life has come around today. I'm very, very happy to work with the Brightlight from my life. I'm very, very grateful. You can see in my face, I'm full of joy.
At first, I was always filled with tears, but now I don't think there are tears. And I'm very, very happy that the Brightlight donors for doing this.
I'm very, very grateful to be among the chosen one. I also promise to do my best. I also promise to make sure that after I'm leaving this place, at least I will help other people to put smiles on their face and face in their home. I also thank the Brightlight for giving me the opportunity to learn the trend. So we are not training you to go and look for joy. We are training you to create your own joy.
You. And I'm also going to, last year when we asked for your support, we were trying to train a lot of girls in Cameroon who, due to the crisis, have all stopped school and, are roaming the streets with no other alternative. Our team had to go into the villages, they had to go into the bushes and interview and do a robust vulnerability assessment of these girls. And because of limited resources, we were able to send some of these girls to OIC in Boya. So the video I'm going to show you here, this is what our students at OIC Boya, and I'm thanking again all of our sponsors. I'm just going to do just one more. We can't really do. Thank you.
I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity granted to me because I'm not going to stand here, but since I gave me the opportunity to do something, I think I'm making a promise that I shall.
You being here is because you've probably heard our story somewhere, you've seen our work somewhere, and please continue to show us the support. Our model is very simple. What we do is create partnership, strategic partnership with different institutions, because we don't have training centers on how to empower these young ladies. So all we do, our team on the ground in the different countries where we operate, we identify schools like OIC. We have a strong memorandum of understanding with OIC, in Liberia, in Cameroon, in Sierra Leone. And these schools We create special relationship with them, and our team, the success of our work is our team being able to provide monitoring both at school and at their homes. Because some of their parents, they don't see a reason, especially for the young girls, why they should send a young girl to school. No, by the time the girl is 11, I had to intervene with one family in Sierra Leone. At 11 years old, the dad told the girl direct, it's time for you to get married. And the girl was crying. She wants to go to school. And even the ones who are going to school, what happens? When they come back from school, instead of the parents giving them the time for them to do their homework, they send them to go sell at the market. Because the father is saying that, oh, you're a woman. After all, somebody will come and marry you tomorrow. Why spend my money? So the biggest thing is not just the support we provide for these young girls. The biggest thing is changing the mindset of the parents. So our team provides continuous counseling to the parents. They have to become stakeholders in our programs, for our programs to succeed. We need to engage them. We even go as far as in Sweden, we have what we call the Mothers Club, where we go in each community, all the mothers of our beneficiaries, we put them and then we form a club, and then we give them small grants for them to do farming so they can be able to support their children while their children go to school. Because if you don't do that, then they become disconnected to the whole idea. So I really want to thank, that was just a synopsis of work, because last year we came to you and we said we wanted to train girls in OIC in Boya. So that's what we have. We just touched our list. We have in Boya alone, we have almost 1,600 young girls on our list. So please, your support is very, very important. And I thank you so much. Our work can never go ahead without you supporting us. And it's even more important, not just supporting us, for you to come here and hear our story, because it changes the trajectory. That's why we put these events, so you can come and see what we do. Whatever little thing we have, this is where it's going to. We have operated for over the years with no major grant from nowhere. Last year we did our first fundraiser. We are still going there. Somewhere, somehow, we are praying that somebody will see our work and be able for us to help us, not help ourselves, but to help the many girls that we have in our database. And so, in closing, I'm going to call my two sisters from the STA so they can say something about, the workshop. If you could give me another 3 minutes, Dr. Rachel and Sister Marie, they can talk about, the work that they are planning to do as STA with Brightlight. Please put your hands together, please.
Wow, Franco. This is awesome. This is just an amazing job you're doing. We're so grateful that God gave you that vision. Good evening, everybody. It's a blessing for all of us to be here this evening and to observe what our brother is doing back in our motherland, mother continent, I should say, because it's beyond Cameroon. Tonight we are standing here, Dr. Rachel and I are standing here on behalf of a group, a sorority group called the Sacred Trans-Global Alliance, acronym for it is STAR, STA. This is it's a sorority of just 28 girls who are alumni of Chakap Baptist College in Cameroon. It is a project-oriented group. So what we do basically, our mission is to help empower underprivileged girls and women around the world
So we're not only limited to helping Cameroonians, we do work here in America, and then we have some of our sorors who live in Canada. We do, we do work in the areas where we have our members, community service. So when we came across the work that Brightlight was doing, it sounded very familiar to our mission, what we are also striving to do. So it was very attractive to us. So when we were discussing projects for 2022 through 24, Brightlight was key amongst the ones that we were looking at to do. So tonight, I will just read a short message from our president, Franco. He sent a short message that we should read to convey the message that we have. Okay. So to the board and management of Brightlight Project, I, as the president of STA, wish to congratulate you on the great job you're doing in impacting the lives of young ladies in Cameroon. STA admires the work that you are doing, and it is in this light that STA is partnering with Brightlight to sponsor 8 deserving ladies for the next 2 years at OIC. With the sum of $3,200. We wish you all the best and look forward to participate in the future for more projects with you. Sincerely, Kidin Tuba, President of STAR. So we are happy to announce that that is our humble donation to support this great initiative of yours. Thank you.
Please, can we clap again for STA, please? Thank you, STA. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I think for now, I have just a short to conclude, just a short acknowledging our sponsors for 2022. It's just going to be a short one, please. We need to acknowledge our sponsors for this year. At this point, as we conclude, please, if you have any support, if you came in with any checks, I know some people have said they brought some checks from some companies. Please, you can. My I said, please, Rick, maybe we can go around and collect the place. And please, thank you all. Your ticket is already considered a contribution, because if you didn't love this course, you would not be here. So your ticket is already considered a contribution. If you have more to give for us, we still appreciate that. But we appreciate your being here, your ticket. And like I say again, your ticket is what we use for our operations. And then our sponsors is what we use for organizing events like this and do community outreach programs. I'm just going to call a few of our sponsors who may have on board and their experience with us. Where's Seren USA? Seren USA here. Where's Seren? Seren USA. Yeah, come on, Miss Sam. Please clap for the gentleman. Thank you. Yes. So thank you so much. We appreciate the help from Seren. And please, should you want to, in less than 1 minute, tell us who Seren, what Seren does, and what are your future programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Franco. My name is Vincent Chokosa. I'm here on behalf of Seren. Seren is a small group of about 20 Cameroonians. I'm not the president, but I was mandated by the president. Some people know him, Ernest Ngassa, to be here today. So Seren is in French Cercle de Réflexion et d'Entraide. It's legal in US since for about 15 years. So this year especially, Seren is organizing the New Year's Eve Gala. So some people have this flyer, and you have to raise funds to give more to Brightlight project. So the president and the executive staff, they mandated me to come here today to encourage you to attend this event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Seren. Listen, we'll all be together December 31st. Thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, where's Mr. Zabranji? Is Mr. Zabranji here? Okay, clap for Mr. J, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Kelani Banquet Hall. Thank you.
Come here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This young man standing by me has done a lot of good stuff. When he came to this city, Houston, came from Minnesota, right?
Yeah, Minnesota.
At the time, they used to know him as a DJ.
I am still a DJ.
Wait now. The mic belongs to me. The mic belongs to me now, man. So they used to call him DJ Franco. DJ Franco. And I'm like, you guys just think that this is a DJ. Not to minimize DJs, guys. Don't take it wrong. People. They used to call him DJ Franco. I'm like, well, you guys don't know what is inside this guy you call DJ. When he started handling my taxes, I started to discover this guy is a big dude. When he started handling the microphone, I started to see. When he started to run real estate, I started to see. When he now is doing Brightlight, I am seeing. Guys, give a hand to this guy. I did not introduce myself. I'm Zebolonji, most people call me Zeb. I happen to have Kelani Ballroom. It's a place for events. So that's, first of all, guys, this is the dude, excuse me for calling him dude. This is the guy who actually worked so hard to get that home for me. Please give him a hand. The first Cameroonian-owned banquet room done by Franco himself. Give him another hand. So I'm standing here on behalf of myself, my family, and Kilane Bomo to give you $1,000.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you. I'm from Priority Home Health. Priority Home Health? Oh, the restroom. Okay. When she comes back. Thank you. And do we have another person who want to say something? Ms. Beckdeck? Where's Ms. Beckdeck? Yes. Please clap for this gentleman. This is the man. The day I told him I was going to Sierra Leone, he didn't ask me a question. He said, "Where did you go?" I say, like Monday. He said, "Okay, I'll pass my house." That if, before I left, he came and he gave me $1,500. He didn't ask me where I was going to. He didn't ask no question. So, bro, I am sure that you must be proud of that support today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big honor to stand before you all and talk a little bit about Franco. Yes. Franco and I, we share the same office. The time he was traveling to Sierra Leone, then Ebola was sleeping like crazy. When the guy was going, I said, there must be something wrong with this guy. People are dying over there for Ebola, and this guy is going to Ebola. I didn't tell me that. I went to my wife. There must be something wrong with this guy. I have not seen any man of man like this. People are dying there. He's going. I said, the wife too. There was something wrong with the wife as well. I'm not the husband. Ebola infected region. Anyway, he went and came back. I did not go to that same office for almost 2 months. I was scared. I was waiting for the guy to die. The guy didn't die. I was waiting for him to sick. The guy did not sick. After about 2 months, I told my wife, I'm going back to the office to join DJ Franco. Business continues as usual, and we're here today. Anyway, Franco, I'm going to support you $1,000. But that doesn't end there. I will tell you what I did tomorrow. Guess what? My God. So for now, $1,000.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Our work will never grow if we do not have people who give us that support. I have a big brother in this room. From day one, each time he see me, he say, "But Franco, how are this? I see the work, but I'm a little confused. Tell me a little bit, and I will explain." Next time he will see me again, he said, "Franco, but this Brightlight." Please put your hand for Brother John Joe, please. Please. This is a man who gave us his all when nobody even knew that we existed. He gave us everything. I even remember sometimes when I see him, like on weekends, him and Madame will just come to say, "Franco, no look up. I have a brother here." I said, "These people that will kill man master." He said, "No, just keep giving the work." And it's because Brother John is one of the people who subscribed to our email about 8 years back, and he has followed every month that we post. He has followed it. I didn't know that. And please, thank you so much, brother. You have always been the pillar, and Sister Marie, may God continue to bless people. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, okay, thank you. And like Zeb said, DJ Franco, that's the name I still prefer, DJ today. That's my best name, so always call me that. So I was the pioneer president of the Houston International DJs, a consortium of about 70 DJs from all different parts of the world in Houston. I was a pioneer president. And the founder of that organization is here today, DJ Mixmaster Brown. Please give him a hand. Yes, so I have my DJ community who have come here today to say thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, President. Thank you. And our President is here. Yomex, please, our current President. Thank you. Thank you, Yomex. DJ Sinatra, where's Sinatra? Sinatra is here. Thank you. Thank you. Good. And of course, I had to drag all my Cameroon DJs into the international DJs. DJ Georges is one of us as well. Please clap for DJ Georges. Yes. And my big brother from Liberia is also one of us. Thank you so much, Tribes. So.
Okay, so like our pioneer president said, he kind of inflated the numbers a little bit. 70 is a little high. But he was the first president. After him came Mixmaster Brown, and our current president now is DJ Yomex, and DJ Sinatra, of course, and DJ Georgie Mix. So on behalf of the hit DJs, we would like to make a donation of $500.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Angels of Care, Home Health. Angels of Care, Home Health. Angels of Care, Home Health. Okay. Thank you. I think they already gave them to you. It's Priority Home Health. Is she back? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so please stop for Priority Home Health, please. Please. Priority Home Health Care is actually owned by one of our board members, Harley Adamo. So he went to Washington for a funeral, but his team is here today representing. Thank you for coming, sir. May God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. And also, our board member from McAllen with GPS Pharmacy, Marvin. Thank you so much, Marvin. The story of Marvin is a little bit different. I was a DJ at Marvin's wedding, 2009, August 2009, right? 2008. Sorry, 2010. 2010. So, after that wedding, when Marvin was leaving, he came to me and he said, look, he said, the way you organize and the way you play music, there's something more about you I need to know. He said, what do you do? I said, I'm an accountant by profession. And since that year to today, I've handled Marvin's multiple businesses, both here and internationally. So please, clap for Marvin, please. So that's how Marvin got connected and told me one day, I love the work, I must be part of the board. Thank you so much, Marvin. Thank you. Thank you. I'm acknowledging Health Star Clinical Associates PLLC. Thank you. Who's Health Star? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's start with you, please. Thank you. Thank you. And Angels of Care Home Health. Thank you so much, Georges. Angels of Care Home Health is actually owned by my able DJ Georges and wife. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DJ Georges. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm also acknowledging Pastor Gabi's Marwangi. Please, let's clap. Let's clap for her, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, can we take IT solution? You know, back in the days when we came here, we work. We had to work at McDonald's for $4. And then you have to work for at least 2 years before you buy a car for $600. But our young people come today and after 6 months, they are making 6 figures. They don't understand the struggle anymore. So, but Kiawitek is one of the men who helped to transform those people. Kiawitek, can you stand a place? Thank you. Let's clap for Kiawitek. Yes. Changing the lives of our young people. Thank you for your support always. Thank you so much. And of course, where's CIC? The president himself. CIC and Wayne. Yes, CIC. Our CIC, when we say CIC in veteran, there's only one man who picked that name. But we'll get that name now for the new president. You know we'll go with that name. So please help me acknowledge our Waters and Gwen, owners of Bam Bam Banquet Hall, which is another banquet hall by us here in town. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you, Sky. Thank you. Thank you. My sister, you will talk about not me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vivian Kifa. I am the president of Change Care Foundation. And Franco...
I'm CEO of what?
Devoted Loving Care. So this
I'm
is
CEO of what again?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
What do you call it?
Daily Restaurant.
Oh, okay. I'm CEO of what again?
Oh, Lord.
Call her on now. You hide them. Call her on video here.
Stop.
All right.
So this is the person that I call him my support system. So I saw what he was doing with Brightlight, and he encouraged me when I told him I wanted to do something like that. So I started Change Care Foundation, and we empower women in Cameroon. So I'm going to support him today with $500.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And see, when you clap for everybody. Because, like I said, the most important thing is the ticket that you pay to come here. That's what is most important. Because you came here because you believe in the vision. Thank you so much. You came here because you believe in that vision, and it is that money that helps to sustain us. So please, and again, I have some special people that I happen to have worked with them in my real estate ventures. And, plenty of them are here today to support. I also want to let you know the trust you gave me to provide you that service is what sustains these girls. Nothing else does that. So I want to thank Foster and Hemi. Please, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And then Kristen, Kameltek. Kristen is another person who helps to transform the lives of young people through IT career training. Kristen and Susan, can you guys stand up, please? Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. That's it. Thank you so much. May God continue to bless you. Thank you. So I think Judges Mix, will help with us. Thank you. Please, any other support? Like I said, your support is very. Okay, I'm also acknowledging a support from Bafumanjong, please. Let's clap for Bafumanjong. Thank you. And please, the silent auction is still ongoing. Please don't forget the table right at the door. Make sure you sign in for that silent auction. Those items will go a long way to help us to take more of our girls. I also want to acknowledge my brother Jopolan and F4. Thank you so much for coming. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Joachim. Thank you so much. Your presence here. Gilbert and the wife, your presence here. Tony, Valeria, Eugene, Dr. Rachel, and Edwin, my chairman, and And then to that committee, at least we survived. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Fabrice, Gwen and Francis, another great support system. Great support system. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Nina from Cancun. Cancun president. Don't worry, Cancun will come back. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Judith. Thank you so much. And of course, I really want to make sure that we also clap for our able MC, Dr. Don. Please, thank you. And for our keynote speaker, I think she took me today to a different world, and I saw something different than I thought about. I was just talking about helping the girls, but she made us understand that it's beyond that. Yeah. If we are to do that, it is beyond that. And we really want to thank you, Mr. Jenkins. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. May God continue to bless you. Thank you. Thank you. And Uncle Charles, let me give you the mic, and then we would dance before we go home. Pastor Tawasan. Please clap for Charles, please. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comrade Franco. Our story goes a very, very long, long way. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. When we were still just young guys back in the days of the university, and we said we wanted to see change because that drive had always been in him also. So we sat together, wrote a memorandum of understanding to take to the rectorate to present to them that these are the changes we need. Coming back to the part that they're talking, during our days in the university, you had to pay, when they instituted the payment of fees,
25,000.
You had to actually go and pay 25 francs to use the restroom before you could actually get a tissue.
Yes.
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 Those were some of the things that when we saw it and we said, how could this be? So, anyway, we decided to spearhead the university strike. And Franco and I had not been very close because he was in the geography department.
Yeah.
And I was in the English language department.
Economics.
And economics. So when we took on that challenge that we would lead the students to effect change in the university, it got to the point where our lives were almost taken away. And that is how this gentleman standing here, he was my savior. Because when I was on the rostrum, giving plan of action on that fateful morning, Jean Messi had sent his police guys to come in there for the shoot and kill, contrary to the promise that he had given us 2 days ago. So as I was shot on my right shoulder and my right ribs, I fell down. So they were coming to eliminate me. My life today is thanks to this gentleman here. With that energy in him, he lifted me on the ground, put it on his left shoulder. I was, if you know where Carrefour Parlement is, going up towards Chapelle Obéli. So that's where he was running towards with me, and the police were behind him, chasing. So we got to Chapel Obele. He stopped the first taxi cab and said, L'Hôpital General. I whispered in his ear that don't take me to L'Hôpital General because if you take me there, the police will get there and I will be eliminated. Take me to the Bingo Baptist Hospital at Etukube, if you know where Etukube is. So anyway, brother, we've come a long way. We've come a long way. And all these years, we've seen the progress of the Brightlight project. A lot of people doubted, like Dr. Eric said, people had whispered in his ears that, is it true that this project is actually happening? But you know, they always say that a king is never honored in his own house. Like he said, he wanted to start this in his own home. But remember, the bottleneck, how he tried and he could not go, and eventually he said, okay, well, the world is a global village. We can make it happen anywhere. Today, this is the fruit of that little step that he took. So we will be supporting the project with $300. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Another great support from Ms. Vivian Tanifu. Ms. Vivian, will you hand out? Please, let's start with Ms. Vivian. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. DJ, I think you, Dr. Down? The silent option? Okay, I think we should just close it and then we just dance and go. Yeah. So.
Well, Ms. Jenkins, what an experience today. I call it your sermon. Your sermon today has got these people in here thinking differently. You know, after the period. Why did you think it was necessary for you to keep hitting that point?
What came up for me is more than about the period. Keeping in mind that it is about a transition from girlhood to womanhood and all the barriers that girls experience on their way to adulthood. And so I wanted people to really get the point that it starts with access with something as simple as hygiene. That if hygiene is kept away from young girls and women, what else is being kept away from them? What other types of violence? Because I consider that a form of violence if you think about it. So I just wanted people to really get it in their head that we're talking about the very basic needs that girls and women have. That as a nation on a global basis, we must meet the basic needs in order for our women and girls to truly excel and experience equity in their lives.
And I was really inspired by the way you started that conversation, and then you transitioned into us thinking, wait a minute, it's not just about period. Period is a subset. There's a bigger picture, yes. And that's when you talk about access. Yes. You know, the fact that we can have the same education, but you earn less than me. That was a turning point. Why did you think it was necessary for you to hit that?
Because it is about accessibility, whether we're talking about on a global level or even right here in Houston, Texas. A woman shared with me last night about the fact that she went in because she was having abdominal pain and the doctor dismissed her abdominal pain. However, she continued to advocate for herself, and what they found out was what was supposed to be a 45-minute surgery because they thought she had a gallbladder issue. She actually had 15 tumors on the inside of her. Accessibility to something even as healthcare, and what I know that as women of color, that we are most likely to die in childbirth. We are most likely not to be diagnosed properly because of what? Of inaccessibility to proper health care, which leads back to the fact about women and also women of color.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are so happy to have you. You know, I'm going to watch this sermon over and over and over. And thank you for thinking about the girls so deep. And the message will go so far. Thank you.
Thank you.
everybody. We had a great night tonight at the Brightlight Project's annual fundraiser. Y'all, make sure you support what this organization is doing globally. Visit www.brightlightprojects.org. Check out everything this organization is doing. They are doing the work. So much support tonight. Support. Visit brightlightprojects.org. We had a great night. God bless everybody.